Thanks for being here. I do internet marketing for restoration companies, been doing it for 9 years now. And so whatever I've learned in past 9 years is what I will be sharing with you all. You can hear me? Louder?
You move it just higher?
Hi.
Is that better? And so I've been working with restoration and cleaning companies for about 9 years and do their PPC marketing, SEO, website design, and so forth. So what I'm going to show you here today is what we actually do for our clients on a daily basis. These are all proven strategies. We do track lead generation and so forth. So everything that works out there is what I will be sharing with you. Stop me if you have any questions. This will be a fast presentation. I've got about 82 slides, I think, to cover in about an hour and a half. But like I said, if you have any questions, you can stop me, or you can always talk to me after the presentation. I'm here for the next 3 days. I have a booth downstairs, so I'm here until Wednesday afternoon. All right, so a little bit about me. I'm married. My wife, Ami, she's right here. She's an entrepreneur herself. We've got 4 beautiful kids.
Jay's
right here. The other ones are in the rooms probably having fun. So I'm here with my family. We're just having a ball here. Ami is an author. She runs our perfume business that I'll get into a little bit. And Jay is starting college in September. The eldest, Aisha, she's already in college. First grader and third grader. This is a slightly older picture. But my background is sales. I had stores in malls. I had perfume stores in malls in Wisconsin. We had 5 stores at one point, and this is from back then. We did trade shows. This is actually from a show in Chicago at Jewelry GFA, and this is our perfume booth. So I was in retail selling perfumes, and then this thing happened, internet. Anybody else here lost a bunch of money or revenue to internet? We did. We pretty much lost our perfume business because people started buying perfumes online. And this was about 10 years ago. We had to let go of our stores, our warehouse, our trade shows, pretty much the whole 9 yards. And then we launched brandperfumes.com because that's where everybody was buying perfumes online. So back then I didn't know anything about creating websites. I learned how to do websites, closed myself in a room. We designed and developed brand perfumes, launched it. Ami now runs that part of our business, and we ship to 35 countries. So we were in Wisconsin looking forward to growing into Chicago area back then with more stores. But then again, that wasn't meant to happen. We went online, and so we are an international business. So a lot of what I've learned initially on internet, online marketing, SEO, and so forth, is from our own perfume business. Bringing the site up in social media, I got into social media, we got on Twitter, Facebook, and so forth. So from social media, then we went on to SEO and PPC. All this initially came from our perfume business. And then I slowly got into restoration and cleaning industry. I used to do workshops in Milwaukee. Sometimes people ask me, how did you choose restoration, or how did you get into it? I did workshops back in Milwaukee, and one of the person in the audience was Mike Messmer. He owns a restoration company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He liked what I talked about. He hired me. I started doing his PPC campaign, and then we never looked back. And then now I speak with Jeff, who's right here. Thanks for being here, Jeff. Solely focusing on restoration industry with restoration strategies coming up next week in Chicago. If any one of you are visiting that area, feel free to stop by, say hi to me, Sam, Jeff. We also have Bill and Peter, who is an independent insurance adjuster himself, talking at the restoration strategies next week. So something you want to keep in mind, maybe you want to write that URL, totallybookuniversity.com. If you want to sign up, you can always go there. And then with Joe Polish, I partnered and we launched search engine optimization course. It's about 40 videos for his elite members. And if any of you are elite members for Piranha Marketing, you should have access to our SEO program. You might have seen me write for R&R and KingFacts. I'm WRD certified. Barry Costa, who's right there, was my instructor. And I did get my 2 credits, so I got this renewed to 2018. So I'm pretty excited about that. I know what works in our business, in your business. Besides just getting the leads, I also know your other pains and so forth. So doing this 3-day class, before this I just thought, we build our website, we drive traffic to it, you get leads, you get jobs, you probably go there, put a bunch of facts and that's it, done. I had no idea how much science is behind drawing a basement and so forth. So some of our clients, we have independents, we also have franchisees, and we work with all of them. A few testimonials here. My mission is to educate and empower 10 million entrepreneurs, 1 million housewives, 1 million students with proven marketing, revenue generating, and leadership strategies so they can increase their income, work fewer hours, and have a better life. We went through some bad times when we lost our perfume business, and so now, of course, my goal, my family's goal, my wife's goal is to empower others, have a better life through internet marketing. And so for that, we launched our website, killitonline.com. In first 90 days, we got traffic from 982 major cities from 186 countries. Again, what I'm going to show you now is something that we do on a daily basis. Everything I'm showing you here is a proven strategy. Stop me if you have any questions, please. All right, so what I believe is we need to have a 4-step system. It's a 4-step online lead generation system. I often meet with restaurants in conferences like these, and their first question to me is, Sunny, how do we get more traffic to our site? What do I do on Google? What do I do on Yahoo? That's not the right question. You can't be going after traffic until you have step 1 done right, which is optimize your website for conversions. And here's what conversion is. It's the act of converting website visitors to paying customers. Okay? What that means is, let's say you get 100 people, we'll keep the numbers easy. Let's say you get 100 visitors to your website. 2 of them call you. So the conversion rate of your website is 2%. One way to increase your business or get more leads is if you drive more traffic to the site. The other way is to increase your site's conversion rate. What if you could change it from 2% to 4%? You just double your business, your online lead generation. What if you can increase it to 10%, 15%, 20%? So now what happens is you're still getting the same 100 visitors, but you get 20 calls instead of 2 phone calls without spending any more money on marketing, advertising, driving more traffic. If your site is not conversion friendly, well, you can drive all the traffic that you want, you will still not get any leads. And I see that happen all the time. When I do an AdWords analysis of a company, they would say, Sunny, we're doing PPC, it's not working for us. When I check their AdWords campaigns, sometimes it's not the campaigns, it's the landing pages that are not converting. So you want to make sure your site is conversion friendly. So here's an example from one of our clients. They spent $3,899 in a given month, and they got 183 phone calls. So that's a 31%, 31.65% conversion rate. It's pretty good. Now, obviously, one thing they could have done is when the conversion rate was only 10%, when we took over, they could have spent 3 times more money to get that many conversions. So, in other words, you're saving thousands of dollars if your site is conversion friendly, if you're getting more conversions. I also get that question from our industry. Conversions is an e-commerce phrase usually used for e-commerce businesses. And because we are a perfume company, my mindset is a little bit on e-commerce side. So if we get 100 people to our website, we sell 2 bottles of perfume, that's 2% conversions. We start selling 10 bottles of perfumes, making some changes to the site, our business goes up, right? Our conversions are 10%. What's the website conversion in restoration and cleaning industry? Because we're not selling any perfumes, any products online. We are selling a phone call. You have to keep that in mind. The reason we have websites is not to make our business look pretty, but actually to sell something off it. A phone call, a text. Any of you get texts from your prospects, customers? Are you signed up for that with your mobile sites? It's doable now. Our clients have mobile-friendly sites, and they often get texts at 3 in the morning. So make sure your site allows that. And then, of course, emails from contact us for free estimates. Now, this doesn't happen much in water damage restoration, but if you do HVAC, indoor cleaning, carpet, rugs, upholstery cleaning, you often get emails from your website, people asking for, hey, this is the square feet, or how much will this be, how much will you charge to clean X amount of area, and so forth. So that's a conversion too. It's not just the phone call you're waiting for, those emails, those texts. You want to make sure your site is capable of doing that. So conversions is the first thing your site should be optimized for. Google prefers that too. If you want to rank your site high on Google, like let's say front page of Google, first page of Google, it must be conversion friendly. If it's not, it will not rank on page 1. So 9 secrets to a high conversion site: must be responsive. April 20th, 2015, Google announced sites that are not responsive will not be on page 1 anymore. It was in CNN. I still see sites all day long that are not responsive, and some of those businesses are paying for search engine optimization to companies, even though the company charging them the money should say, hey, we can't SEO your site because it's not responsive. But they will not say that because then they lose business, right? So you gotta make sure your site is responsive, which means it looks perfect in a desktop PC, in a laptop, iPads, iPhones, and so forth. Any browser size, the website should adapt to the browser size. And of course, there's iPad minis, bigger iPad, iPhone little ones, those 7 Plus, and so forth. So the sizes of browsers are continuing to change. You want to make sure your site is perfect in all the browsers, in any browser size, in any device, and so forth. So very important, responsive site. Now, here's something that we introduced last year. It's working wonders for our clients. One-touch call button. What happens is, someone finds your website at 3 in the morning, doesn't matter how, they reach the site from their smartphone. Maybe there's a power outage in the area, maybe there are floods, maybe there's a hurricane, who knows? Or it's just an emergency situation, a person pulls out his phone, finds your site, lands on your site, there's a permanent button here. They just have to click this button and it's a call to you. So in an emergency situation, this works wonders because they don't have to go to the contact us page, see your phone number, open the keypad, and then dial the number. I'll tell you what, I can take a 2-minute break if you want to pull out your phones. Go to sunnyahuja.com just to see what I mean by that one button. Go ahead, do it. This is important for, it's SONNYAHUJA.com. If you just press that one button, it'll be a call. Now imagine it's, like I said, 3 in the morning, somebody discovered flood in their house, maybe their basement is flooded, who knows what. They've come to your website, just by clicking that button, they can reach you. And of course, when they land on your site, you want to have some credibility, instant credibility there that I'll show you. So this makes it real easy. I call it stupid simple for people to reach you. Don't make them work to call you. Don't make them go to your About Us page, Contact Us page, find the phone number, open their keypad, enter the phone number. It's like you're almost making it tough for them to give you money. You don't want to do that. Make it really simple for them. So this is something we do for our clients. Increases conversion rate sometimes up to by 50%. I have clients whose call volume went 30, 40, even 50%, twice as high by adding this one little trick. Independent landing pages for each service that you provide. So, I still go to those websites where there's one page that has a paragraph on all the different services companies provide. Just one paragraph. You're trying to get a $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 flood job. One paragraph will not get it. Commercial business will never come from those one paragraph pages. You gotta give more. Now, it doesn't mean that people who come to the site will read every single line if it's a long page, but at least they have something. You want to have headlines, subheadlines, bullet points, make it simple. But one paragraph will not do the job. So, you want to have a separate page for water damage restoration, flood water extraction, basement water extraction, because people search differently. Okay? I came to US 20 years ago, and before I got into this industry, I didn't know what water damage restoration meant. So if I go on Google, if I have water in my basement, I will search for something like basement water removal company, basement water drying, something of that nature. Then I find a website. On the landing page, it mentions water damage restoration. We are water damage restoration experts. It may not click with me that it's the same thing. So, if you live in Midwest, if you have a business in Midwest or let's say the East Coast or the areas where they have basements, you definitely want to have a separate landing page on your site that talks about basement water extraction, basement drying, basement water removal, and so forth. Water damage restoration will not be enough to get those people call you. Again, we're talking conversions. So your conversions go up if you give people what they're looking for. Just like in our perfume business, if you're looking for a Calvin Klein perfume, you go to our website that is selling Chanel, you will not buy it. It's still a perfume, but you won't. So this is, again, conversions, a bit of e-commerce mindset. You want to have separate pages for mold, carpet cleaning, other services drop down can be HVAC, rug repair, rug cleaning, hoarding cleanup, and so forth. So, independent landing pages for every single service that you provide. Write blog posts. It engages people. They come to your website, they read a blog post, they like your business, they connect with you, and then they call you. Not every time. It's an emergency situation. A lot of time people have a week before they decide who they want to call. Maybe it's a more job. How many of you do other services besides restoration, besides water damage restoration? So most of you. Which means it would be beneficial for you if you write a few blog posts. Because people will appreciate it, they'll connect with you. And then of course, they also share blog posts on social media because they add value. You're not trying to sell anything from your blog post. You're just saying, hey, 7 ways to keep your carpet clean, 5 ways to repair your rugs, DIY. You know they're not going to do it, but those are the things that will help you to get eyeball traffic. And people will share it on social media. Video demonstrations. This is a great way to increase conversion. You show them exactly what you're going to do in a video. And you don't need to buy those expensive cameras anymore, those $10,000 Sony cameras to do this. Just have an iPhone. Any smartphone shoots a great video. So at your job site, shoot a video, put it on your website, show people, show visitors your processes, or equipment, products, testimonials, awards, and so forth. It increases conversions. Again, keep thinking in mind, we're talking conversions right now. So, anyone here doing Facebook videos, Facebook Live? It's a big thing right now. You are? Do you get any traction or any jobs?
Oh yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
this is
I
a
did it on our business page and also personal.
okay. Yeah. So YouTube is still there, but you can always do Facebook videos. Upload a video. You can drive traffic to that video. Pay Facebook some money, $5, $10 a day. Drive traffic to that video. You can do live. Of course, YouTube is there. Because videos, when you're doing something, showing something in a video, it's real. Anybody on their website can write, we're the biggest and local experts and so forth. But when you show people what you do, show your equipment, show your process, they see exactly what kind of business you are. You know, we make sure that we don't make a mess in your house if it's a rug cleaning or a carpet cleaning job, and so forth. There's many different ways to do it. I don't know if you've seen Bill Yaden's presentation, but he talks about it. If you get it, well, Bill was before me, so you're probably already over. But this is what I've learned from Bill. A lot of companies, businesses, when they go in for carpet, mold, and so forth, they leave a lot of mess. Customers don't like it, so show that in your video. Offer something for free. Free always works. Always works. Free room cleaning, free mold inspection, free consultation, in-house estimates work better than free estimate. So if your website says free estimate, at least for mold and water damage, if you want to change it to free in-house estimate, your conversions will go up. And that one extra call that you may get in a month by just tweaking that little thing might be a $50,000 job. And I see it happen all the time, that's why I bring it up. Free in-house estimate. Use urgency. Order now. If you have coupons for your cleaning, must redeem by a date. Last 2 coupons. Date always helps. If there's no expiration date, you will not get high conversions. And that's why, even when you see sales at big companies like Macy's, Penny's, there's always a deadline. Expires Saturday at midnight, expires 31st, and so on. Because the conversions go up. Now you can restart the sale on next month on the 1st and still say expires 31st. But there's got to be a date. The coupon is only being used or is only good if it has an expiration to it. Order today and receive a free gift for a short time only and so forth. Increases conversions. Most sites still load really slow. Have you ever noticed you go to a website and then you see that circle thing going on and on and on and on and you're waiting for the page to load? Well, few bad things happen. One, it increases the bounce rate of your website, which means people somehow find your site, but because it doesn't load fast enough for them, they leave. Okay? That increases the bounce rate. Second thing, if a site takes more than 3 seconds to load, Google will not rank it on page 1. So if your site takes 5 seconds to load, and you're paying a company to get on page 1 of Google, it's not going to work. That company should have already told you, hey, we need to increase the load speed of your website, or we can't do this. But they will not say that because then they lose business. And for that reason, Google has their own tool now they launched recently. It's called Test My Site. www.withgoogle.com. You can go to that link, put your website URL, and Google will then generate a report of your site. You can then leave your email, and Google will send you a bigger report. Email it to you. It'll show the rank, it'll show, it'll give you a score out of 100 on desktop, on mobile, on loading speed, and so forth. And of course, based upon that score, you can improve the performance of your website. Conversions, conversions, conversions. Even if you take those, what Google tells you to do, even if you send that to your web guy, your web developers, and if they're able to make those changes, your site performance will increase big time. And Google will not just give you a score saying 50 out of 100. It will also say these are the 7 things you can do to your site to improve the performance. You just have to send it to somebody who knows how to do it. Improve your site's performance. Again, that is testmysitewithgoogle.com. Contact number. Header, footer, web copy, not on contact us page in the smallest font possible on earth. I still see that. Everything is huge. We're the best, we're the biggest, we're the experts, but there's no phone number. So you find the About Us page or Contact Us page and you go there. And you're still digging for the phone number because it's in the smallest font. That's bad for conversions. So you want to have the phone number in the header. That's the first thing people see when they come to your site. If it's an emergency, if there's some credibility logos next to the phone number, maybe BBB A+, IICRC, some local chamber, association that you may be a member of, something on the header of the site, maybe 5-star rating, maybe an award your company received, and the phone number, that's enough to get the call. In the footer, a lot of time, you may notice this you doing yourself. You go to a website, you see the first few things on top, and then suddenly you scroll all the way down. It's just a habit. So when visitors of your site scroll all the way down, you get another chance to make that sale. Sell that phone call by having your phone number in the footer. And then of course, in the copy itself, if they're reading about your mold removal, mold remediation service, when it ends, the paragraph ends, give us a call for more information. Call us now at the phone number for more information, or if you have a question or estimate or anything. We know as business owners, 90% of people on this planet are followers. In fact, more than 90%. They'll do if you tell them what to do. So, if it's in the copy, call us now for a free estimate, and here's the number, they'll call you. So again, this increases your conversions. I do have a free offer here for your website. We do a free analysis of your site. You get up to a 50-page website report. We usually charge $97 to $197 for it. You can sign up. Did you give out those sheets to everybody? Okay. So I can stop for a minute if you want to sign up for it. Those who are interested will create a complete report of your site, send it to you, including Google report, our own report, and of course, give you ideas of how you can improve your site and increase its conversion rate before you get into traffic and Google and Facebooks and YouTubes and everything else. You want to make sure your site converts. So step 1, conversions, a conversion-friendly website. And now we get into step 2. Increase relevant traffic to your site. One thing is obviously increased traffic because now your site is conversion friendly. You know when people will come to your site, when visitors will get to your site, they'll convert, they'll call you. But not just increased traffic, relevant traffic. Because that converts better than just traffic, and it costs you less to get relevant traffic than just traffic. Because you know exactly what you want, who you want on your site. Should the guy own a $500,000 house? Is that your best customer? Maybe he has 4 kids, like me. Maybe he has a dog. Once you know your target audience, those are the people you drive to your website. We call that relevant traffic. 5 proven ways to get relevant traffic. Pay-per-click. Anyone here doing Google AdWords, Yahoo, Bing marketing, PPC? Okay. Search engine optimization. I often, again, hear about that. People are trying to do it. Trying to get their site on page 1 of search engines. Google, Yahoo, and Bing, of course. Google being the number 1. YouTube and Facebook videos. They drive relevant traffic. And it's free. So that's a good thing about YouTube and Facebook videos. It doesn't really cost you much, except for your time. Social media and blogging. Anyone here blogging regularly on this site? You do, man? Do you get traffic from it?
Yes.
You get business, leads, calls?
Yeah, we get a lot of leads.
You do?
On Google for a lot of blogs like we do.
Okay. And do you do it regularly or?
Once a week.
Oh, that's good. That's huge. It's tough to do it weekly.
Well, I hired a company to do it. I'm not doing it.
Yes. As long as it gets done.
Right.
That's the point, right? As long as it gets done. So those are the 5 ways to drive traffic to your website. I'm not going to get into everything. SEO probably will take me 3 hours on its own. So mainly get into Google AdWords because it's faster, it's instant, and I'll actually show you a few tricks, few things. We recently got a client in Atlanta, which is where I'm from. This was about a month ago. It was a Thursday. Thursday around 11:30, we started setting up his campaigns. His ads went live at around maybe 3:30 in the afternoon. Takes about 3-4 hours. And around 5:30 that evening, he got a $180,000 flood job from that ad. It doesn't happen every day. I wish it did. But I've seen jobs coming the first day, the second day, the third day, all the time. Because it only takes you 3 hours, maybe, at most, to get on page 1 of Google if you do. So, dominating first page of Google in 3 hours is huge. Of course, your site must convert. Step 1, rule 1, your site must convert. And then I'll show you a few strategies that we use with AdWords, which helps our clients. So Google AdWords, or even with Yahoo and Bing, there's 2 kinds of pay-per-click campaigns you can run. One, search, where a person goes to Google, Yahoo, or Bing, and they search for a key phrase, a service that you may provide. And the second one is display campaigns, where you actually have an ad, a display campaign, a display ad running on Google's partner websites. And those are millions, from CNN to MSNBC to Forbes and your local news channels. That's how all those companies, all those sites make money. Your local news channel, CNN, we go to CNN, we read the news, we leave the site. How did they make money? By running Google AdSense. Maybe that's one way. So for that, we need to get into display campaigns. Anyone who thinks AdWords is expensive? Pretty much everybody, right? Everybody tells me, Sunny, Google AdWords, oh my God, it's really expensive. It is, but it's only expensive if you're not getting a positive ROI from it, a positive return on your investment. Let's say if $5,000 makes sound a lot of money, and if I say $5,000 is what you need a month to get on AdWords, it may be, oh my God, that's expensive. But if you get back $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 worth of jobs, then it's not expensive anymore because you're making a lot more money. I have clients who do $1,000 a month, and I have clients who spend $30,000 a month on AdWords. None of them find it expensive because they make a positive ROI. The ones who don't get a positive ROI, even if it's $500 a month, still expensive because they put $500, they lost that money because they didn't get a job. So, how do we profit from AdWords? Few ways. Set up your campaigns separately for each service. So I analyze a lot of AdWord campaigns. When you go in there, or when I go in there, mostly here's what I see. There's a campaign, and in that campaign are a few key phrases. There would be carpet cleaning, rug cleaning, water damage, flood restoration, mold remediation. Everything is in the same campaign. There's a bunch of ads. One ad may be for mold, one ad may be for water, and then they all go to the same landing page. Okay? So, if you have key phrases in a campaign and ads in the same campaign that talk different services, if someone Googles mold remediation and your water damage restoration ad shows up because it's not set up right, you will not get a click. So that person will most likely go to your competitor. You want to make sure every single service you provide has a separate campaign in itself. So mold is separate from carpet, carpet is separate from water damage, air duct cleaning, and so forth. And when they're separate, you also get to choose a different budget, a different area, different key phrases and ads and landing pages. We just talked about having separate landing pages for each service. So when someone Googles mold remediation, they see your ad from this campaign related to mold. When they click on the ad, they go to a landing page of your site that talks about mold. So carpet cleaner, someone looking for a carpet cleaner or a carpet cleaning company will see your ad related to carpet cleaning, go to the carpet cleaning landing page of your site. Very important to increase conversions. And of course, you can have separate budgets. Like in this case, they have $30 a day for water damage and $10 a day for air duct cleaning. Whatever you're comfortable with. This may be running 30-mile radius, that may be only running 10-mile radius. Carpet cleaning is only running 5-mile radius from their office. Because they don't want to go more than 5 miles for a carpet cleaning job. They'll go 10 miles for air duct cleaning. They'll go 30 miles for water damage. When you set up your campaigns separately, you are in control and not Google, and you're able to do that. Set up your campaigns based upon areas. Here's a screenshot from a bigger company where they have daily budgets for each campaign at $200 to $300 a day. And so they have separate campaigns based upon areas. MDs for Maryland, that's Washington, D.C., Virginia. So now you don't have to be in different states, but let's say if you are in a city like Chicago, which has a lot of suburbs, you can have separate campaigns for Naperville, Aurora, Chicago downtown, and so forth. Be very specific with areas you select. Now here's a screenshot from a company based in Illinois, in Chicago. When I analyzed their campaign, their account rather, their ads were running all over the country. And they're a company just based in Chicago. They don't service Georgia, South Carolina, Massachusetts, Florida, Delaware, and so forth. So 80% of that money you see here is a total washout. It's a total waste. Because their ads are showing outside the area. Now, of course, they don't like AdWords because they lost 80% of their money just that way. You want to make sure your campaigns don't run outside the area you provide services in. Update negative keywords daily. Are you familiar with negative keywords? All right. So let me explain that. When you run campaigns in Google, you give them, we all know we give them key phrases. Water damage restoration, mold removal, and so forth. That's one thing. Because we want our ads to be seen by people who Google those key phrases. What about people who Google something close to it? Like water damage restoration, iPhone. So that's a very common key phrase. When your a car, a truck, a phone gets damaged by water, people go on Google and search for it. Water damage cars, flood damage trucks. Because there are companies out there that fix them, buy them, sell them. And so at that point, you want to add the word iPhone as a negative keyword. Trucks as a negative keyword. Because when someone Googles water damage restoration iPhone, your ad should not show up. Because if it does, you will lose a lot of money. Like this company here. So I audited their account. They spent $500,000 in 1 year. So this is 1 year report, $514,000, $514,931. And they're getting clicks for phrases like water pump repair. Google thinks it's the same thing as water damage restoration. No, it's not. They don't repair pumps. The word floods doesn't mean anything. If someone is on Google looking for floods or searching for the key phrase flood, trust me, he's not looking for you. Anything else but a water damage restoration business. Cell phone water damage, $454. These are some of the good ones. Water damage cell phone, fix a phone water damage, septic tank pumping. So we added everything. About 50% of that money spent was on wrong key phrases because they did not have negative keywords. A simpler example is, you'll probably get a kick out of it. I worked for a client in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who sent me, told me, Sonny, one of my buddies has a furniture store. They get a lot of traffic on their site. They check that in analytics. They do AdWords, they do PPC, but they don't get any business. Do you mind auditing their campaign? I'm sure. I'll take a look at it. So they had a bunch of key phrases in there: tables, chairs, nightstands, and so forth, because they're a furniture company. They want to promote their showroom, their business. And so I go in there, and 80% of the clicks, so one of the key phrases they had was nightstand. 80% of the clicks came on the key phrase one night stand. That has nothing, trust me, nothing to do with their business. So we added the word one, O-N-E, one, as a negative. And that took care of that problem. Okay? So you want to make sure words like cell phone, the word phone, cell, septic, these are all negatives in your campaigns, so you don't lose any money. We right now have 2,420 negative keywords that we've collected in almost 8 years of PPC. For water damage only. For plumbers, we have 788. For mold, we have about, it's higher than 500 now, so we have like 500 negative keywords. It's key phrases like water damage restoration, pictures, photographs, Android, cell phone, Samsung, Galaxy, all those names, all those gadgets get damaged by water, and when they do, people go to Google and they will Google water damage and that gadget. And if your ad is there, they'll click on it, costing you like 30, 40 bucks. And they'll never really call you. So, update negative keywords if you can every single day. That'll save you a lot of money, thousands upon thousands of dollars in long run. Call-only campaigns. That's a great strategy to get calls, even if the website is not conversion friendly. So Google has a tool where you can run campaigns, call-only campaigns. Now, in most cases, when you click on an ad, it goes to a website, right? It's linked to a website, the landing page of the site. So you go to that website, you decide call or not to call. With call-only campaigns, when a person clicks your ad, it calls you directly. It bypasses going to your site. So here's an example from a client in Washington, D.C. If you Google flooded basement cleanup in that area, this is the #1 ad, DC water restoration. And in the headline, it says call. This means this is a call-only campaign. That's how you can find out in your area. You can go to your phone, search for water damage restoration or any key phrase. If you see ads from companies that have the phone number in headline, that means they are running call-only campaigns. If you see an ad like this, that's not a call-only campaign, because in call-only campaign, the headline is the number itself. So if no one is doing it in your area, maybe that's where you want to test. Because every click is a call. I've had clients where it increased their call volume by 30, 40% easily. So that's a strategy you can work on to be profitable with AdWords. This is again something new that started in September of last year, maybe even after that, where Google started showing 4 ads instead of 3. It used to be 3 ads on top, above Google Maps, and then ads on the right side. Now there are no ads on the right side. Instead, Google made 4 ads on top of Maps. So that's one thing. Second thing, you can have an ad this big now. It used to be only 3 lines. But if you know how to write an ad the right way, you can have up to 7. I even saw 8 lines recently. So imagine 4 of these ads, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Google Maps, and below that will be your SEO rankings. Right? So you literally have to scroll down to get to SEO rankings. That makes AdWords even more important today and in the future than it was 2 years ago. Because the top 4 positions on Google will be big ads. Sooner or later, these companies will also figure out how to have an ad that big. I'll share with you how you can have an ad that big. But it's 7 lines. If you see the same ad in a mobile device, so this is a screenshot from a cell phone, that big ad dominates the entire screen of your cell phone because the second ad doesn't even show up. So imagine if you can be on the entire screen in your area on cell phones. That's huge, which means to get to your competitor, a person will have to scroll down, which means they'll have to work, and nobody likes to work. So if you figure out how to write these ads, you make a bunch of money. All right, so how do we write those ads? Google has a tool in every AdWords account where when you write ads, you have access to ad extensions. This was added a few months ago. Most businesses are not taking advantage of this. And you can see by looking at their ads in your area because they are still the old ones. So this is a screenshot I took from Atlanta. I did water damage repair. Here's our client number one, and then competitors, smaller ads. First thing first, add site links to the ads, which means, so again, your website needs to have multiple landing pages. And you can add related landing pages to your ads, which means Google will also show other links besides your ads. So this is a water damage restoration related campaign. We added water damage restoration, reconstruction, basement water extraction, about us, contact us, sewage and drain cleanup, flood damage repair, testimonials, everything related to water damage with a link to that landing page. There's got to be a link to the landing page. So the more landing pages you have on your website, the more site links you can add in your ad and make it bigger and bolder. So add site links. If you're running a campaign for cleaning, you can have right here, carpet cleaning, rug cleaning, upholstery cleaning, maybe rug repair if you do that, about us, contact us, awards, testimonials, and so forth. It's all related to each other. And so that'll make your ad look bigger. These site links are here, these four. Now, Google will randomly show those, but these are coming from the site links. That gives you an extra 2 lines. While this guy has just 1 line, we have 2 lines based upon the site links. Next one. Add call-out extensions. This is where you brag about your services. And Google is okay with that. Fast and affordable, get free estimates 24/7, 24/7 ready to dispatch. We work with insurance companies or insurances, your local experts. BBBA plus, maybe something else that you may have an advantage from your competition, you can add it there. And then this is the second line where it's showing up. 24/7 ready to dispatch, your local experts, free estimates, fast and affordable, right here. Callouts. If you don't add callouts, this line is not there. If you don't add site links, these 2 lines are not there. That's 3 lines. Now this ad doesn't cost any more money. It's still the same. Actually, it'll cost less than those. And there's a whole math behind it. But this ad may cost less because it'll have a high CTR and a high keyword score and so forth. So Google will give an advantage to an ad like that, cost you less. But that's not where we are right now. We'll probably get there too. So call-out extensions, add structured snippet. So your services, they should be related to each other, water damage, basement, flood water extraction, and so forth. And they show up right here, services. That gets you another line. This is one-time work. You can do this on your account level. You don't have to do this in every single campaign. If you do this at account level, every single campaign will have this enabled. One-time work, and you reap the benefits for a long, long time. And since this is pretty much brand new, I would say, started recently, my guess is even in your area, your competitors haven't caught up to this. If they're doing AdWords in-house, most likely they're not doing it because they don't know how to do it. So you can actually dominate your area with AdWords by having ads like this and by being the only company on front page, first page of Google in a smartphone. The only company. I mean, that's huge. Call extensions. Add call extensions, which means your phone number shows up next to the ad, which is again a direct call. If your prospect taps on the phone number, it's a call to you. At that point, they don't go to your website, and so at that point, if the site is bad in conversions, it's okay, because they never got to see it. They just click on the ad, and you get the call. The conversions are insanely high because every click can be a conversion. So every time someone clicks on your ad, it's a call. Every time they click on your ad, it's a phone call. Any questions so far? Price extensions. Now this is something we can use with water damage, but if you want to brag about your prices, offers, that can be added here. Maybe for carpet cleaning, maybe for rug cleaning, you can add prices here. For plumbing, maybe an hourly rate. Things like that. Because nobody else is doing it. Especially if you want to get people in with a low price and then upsell them. That's very common in our carpet cleaning industry. 3 rooms and a hall, you'll get people signed up, and then you go there and you upsell them on 3 other things. Maybe you have a strong back end and you get people for smaller prices, less profit up front, but then you retain them as a customer for 5 next years. So they keep giving you business over and over. Every 3 months, maybe they'll call you every 3 months for a carpet cleaning thing. Maybe you also do office cleaning. So there's a big advantage to this. Now, most businesses that use these extensions are e-commerce companies. Amazon will have this. You'll see the price of the product you're looking for on Google itself. You don't have to go to Amazon to check the price. It's right there because Amazon is doing this. And so are other e-commerce companies selling perfumes and whatnot. But you can always do it too. Just think outside the box. Review extensions. Now this is a tricky one. If you're a BBB member or any such organization, and if you have a rating with them, you can actually get your rating approved by Google. It's tricky, you have to call them. And in most cases you have to call them, unless you write it like this, A+ rating, Better Business Bureau. Anything else you write, it will be disapproved. If you write BBB A+, BBB A+ rating, A+ rating BBB, it will get disapproved. To get this approved, it must be written like that, A+ rating, Better Business Bureau. Once this is approved, it shows separately below your ad. One entire line Google will give you and say BBB rating A+. It will not take away from your ad, it'll be an extension to your ad. It's like showing 5-star rating, an extension to your ad. So it will not take away what you will write. It'll only add to that. I'm in Atlanta, which is a big market, lots of competitors or competition in our industry, and there's only one company that shows that every now and then. I guess the others don't know how to do it. It's that uncommon for an ad to show up with a separate line endorsed by Google for BBB A+ rating. So in ad extensions, if you go to review extensions, A+ rating BBB, apply for it, takes a few hours, maybe a day, get it approved, it'll automatically show next to your ads. That adds credibility, that adds conversions, increases conversion rates. Here's something new.
So in certain areas, let's say East Coast, businesses in our industry get more calls over the weekends and at nights. Anyone else here thinks the same? Do you think for water damage you get more calls at nights or weekends? You do, right? Because insurance companies are closed, people can't get to their insurance agents. It's 3 in the morning, they panic. It's a weekend, they panic. Pardon me?
Get home from work.
Get up from work, come back home at 6:30 from the office and find their basement is flooded, or wake up in the morning and go down and see the basement is flooded. So if you feel in your area it works like that, you can run your campaigns only on mobile devices or computers. By default, they run on both. But with a limited budget, you may only decide to run them on mobile devices and not even on computers. You can do that. This was added recently, actually. Now, they used to have this few years before, then Google removed it. But they've added it again. Very important to know. If you run separate campaigns, you can run one on desktops or PCs, computers, and one for mobile devices. We do that too. The conversion rate from mobile devices is usually higher, so we have a higher budget. With computers, we keep lower budgets, daily budget. So mobile could be $100 a day and computers could be $50 a day. Or mobile could be 24/7, computers could be only at nights and weekends, or vice versa. See, these are all strategies that help you get more conversions and you make profit from AdWords. And at that point, then it's not expensive anymore. Then $5,000 a month is not expensive, or $20,000 a month is not expensive, because you're making 4, 5, 6 times more than what you're spending, or rather investing. Anybody here doing Bing and Yahoo campaigns? Okay, so Google is slightly expensive, yes. A click on Google, maybe let's say if it's about $30, same click on Yahoo and Bing is 1/4 of that, less than $10. They do have 40% of market share now. They're growing. Google had more market share. Now Yahoo and Bing are coming up together. So the cost per click, water damage restoration, water cleaner restoration, and this is in Atlanta, which is expensive, on Bing and Yahoo is $8, $3 cost per click. 19, $2. Atlanta, Georgia storm damage, water restoration, only $5. It'll probably cost you $20 a click on Google, while $5 on Yahoo and Bing. Why not try it? And conversions from Yahoo and Bing are higher, because more serious buyers go to Yahoo and Bing. People on Google just Google stuff. Not necessarily they need you. But on Yahoo and Bing, they're more serious. They're more loyal. We all started with Yahoo account at one point. I still have a Yahoo email ID. My first email is still from Yahoo. So there's a lot of people out there that stuck with, or are still with, Yahoo and Bing. Maybe you can just start Yahoo and Bing campaigns and grow from there. Most companies that are advertising on Google are not doing Yahoo and Bing, so there's less competition because your competitors are less. They're not on Yahoo and Bing. The cost per click is less, 1/3, maybe 1/4 of Google. Conversions are higher because people are more serious buyers on Yahoo and Bing. Why not give it a shot? So, Yahoo and Bing. Anybody doing pay-per-click in Facebook here? You are?
Well, I say pay-per-click in Facebook. We
Okay. Do you like just add a post and promote it? But you don't run ads as per se, like the PPC ads?
Sorry, I misunderstood.
Okay. Just, okay. This is very powerful. With Facebook, you can, now this is not that good for water damage restoration, but your other services, like carpet, like upholstery, rug, mold, and so forth. You can actually reach any kind of audience through Facebook, because Facebook knows it all. They know everything about us. They know the kind of websites we visit, who we like, who we don't like. So let's say for upholstery cleaning, if you tell me, Sonny, my ideal client, prospect, customer is a woman who is 45 to 65, maybe 2 kids, college graduate, loves a certain show, makes a certain kind of money, likes Harley Davidson, we can target them through Facebook. In a certain zip code, location, because in that particular zip code, the houses are over $500,000, and I only like to deal with rich people, and because they give me more money and so forth. You can do that with Facebook. So if you know who your best audience is, you can reach them through Facebook. You just have to define your top 20 customers, who they are, and what do they have in common. What kind of movies they like, who's their favorite actor, do they like motorcycles or not, do they like pets or not, do they keep cats or dogs, do they have 2 kids or 4 kids, what kind of areas they live in, what's their median income, do they go to Starbucks or not. You can do all that with Facebook. If they have an anniversary coming soon, if their age is so forth, if they're married, divorced, single, whatever, you can do that with Facebook. You just have to know who they are. So, a great strategy, and the cost per click on Facebook is still really, really, really less than Google. Probably like $1, $2 at most. You even get them for 50 cents. So you can drive traffic to your website, if it's conversion friendly, through Facebook. Jeff, you do a lot of Facebook marketing. What's roughly the cost per click you're doing right now? Are you paying? 40 cents or so. 40 cents?
40.
Yeah.
Sometimes it starts cheap, a few pennies, and it goes up to 50 if there's more traffic.
Okay.
I don't know why. Because they can get more.
Right. So very reasonable, I would say, and you can do that. So this may have been, if you think it's a little bit too much of information or info overload, I call it. I do have a special offer here, a 20 to 30 minute free call with me, where you can tell me what you do, where you are, where you want to be, and I can design a plan for you and give it to you. There's no charge for it. As you know, as a consultant, I charge $500 an hour, but this is absolutely free. I think there's some sheets here with you. If you want, you can sign up for it, and I'll help you take a look at your site, take a look at what you're doing, what your budgets are, and give you a plan of what will really work for you. And then, of course, you can implement it if you like it. So sign up for this today if you're interested. All right, so here's the recap. And we only went through 2 steps. 4-step lead generation system. Step 1, optimize your website for conversions. Step 2, increase relevant traffic to it, which means after you know for a fact that your site has good conversion rates, that's when you get into traffic. Step 3, return path. This is again going to e-commerce world. So let's say you drive 100 visitors to your site, 5 of those people call you. What about the other 95? You paid money to get those people to your website. Maybe you put a post on Facebook and you didn't pay money, but it still cost you time. Something must have been done to drive people to your website. Social media, PPC, SEO, direct mail, radio, maybe you did a television ad, newspapers, something. So those people who went to your site but did not take action, did not do what you wanted them to do, put them in a funnel of remarketing. Remarketing is the practice of serving ads to users based upon prior engagement. It sounds technical, but here's the easy way to look at it. I'm sure you must have noticed when you go to sites like Amazon and you look for a product, a camera maybe, and then you start surfing the net. You go to CNN, you go to Forbes, you go to your local news channel, you go to weather.com to see if it's going to be raining in your area and if you'll be getting more flood jobs. You start to see that product everywhere. You noticed it? When you Google something on Amazon, or when you look for something on Amazon, you start to see that ad, that product, even showing up on Facebook now. It's like it's following you around. That's remarketing. Very powerful. Here's my own ads. I can show from a client. So here's my own ads. If you go to my blog, sunnyhoja.com, then often you'll see my ads on internet, on different websites. This helps bring people back to your website. The cost per click is much less, and I'll show it to you. But what happens is, when they look at your ad over and over and over, it starts to become a brand. And the best part, when you look at those ads that are following you around, those products that you look for on Amazon, when you look at those ads, any idea how much it might be costing those companies when you're seeing their ads?
Probably nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely right. Free. If you run your campaigns with cost per click, impressions are always free. So someone comes to your website. Maybe you spend $7 on that click. They come to your site. Maybe you spend money on Facebook. They come to your website. Now you start remarketing campaign. They go to CNN and they see your company's ad, your services. They go to Forbes. They go to weather.com, local news channels, millions of other sites they can visit. They see your ad. It's not costing you a dime. Only when they click your ad, it'll cost you a bunch of money, which will be less than 50 cents. So remarketing campaigns that we run for our industry cost less than 50 cents a click in most cases. So here's an example from a client. They have 18,000 people cookied in their remarketing. So what you do is in AdWords, and this is all controlled from Google. You're running ads on CNN. Your ads are showing up on Forbes. It's all through Google AdWords. You're not calling CNN and signing up with them. If people are seeing your ads on CNN, it's free. If people are seeing your ad on MSNBC, it's free. On Forbes, it's free, unless they click on it. Try calling CNN and saying, hey, I want to run a campaign on your website for free. Would you let me do that, please? You know the answer, right? But this is how you can do it. So when people come to your website, they get cookied by Google, and then Google starts to show your ads to those people. That list grows over a period of time. Let's say 10 people visited your site today, so it's 10. Tomorrow it'll be 20, then 30, then 40. It'll grow. And so when it grows, you're able to reach out to those people with your offers. It doesn't cost you anything. And if it does, it's really low. Now here's the best part that happens after that. So this company has 18,000 people cookied in their list. Guess what Google does? Google goes and creates a similar list, which has 50 to 100,000 people in it. So if your list has 1,000 people that you have cookied, 1,000 visitors, 1,000 browsers, Google will give you another list based upon your current traffic. And Google will say, hey, you want to market to these people? They're similar to the ones that you are paying a lot of money for, driving to your site. So these people would be common. This list would have a lot of common things with those. Maybe similar areas, similar housing, looking for similar services, and so forth. And so, if you market to that list, here's water damage restoration, cost per lead from remarketing, which is really more for mold, rug, HVAC, and so forth. Services that take about a while for people to decide. So that's what remarketing is for. We also do it for water damage. The cost per lead is $60. The cost per lead from Google's list, which is lookalike or similar audience, is $27 for one of our clients. So when we use their list that they gave us, we get better results. I guess Google is smarter than us. I don't know. But we get better results from a list that Google has given us. So, and I think we should see cost per click here somewhere. Average cost per click, 20 cents, 30 cents. Unheard of in water damage restoration industry, 30 cents for a click. We couldn't do that 5 years ago, but we still do it today. That's low for our industry, really low, 30 cents a click. Here's another strategy that is somewhat new, in-market audience. So with your services, you can run campaigns and reach people who are in market for services that you provide, which means they go to Google and they Google flood restoration company, and then they just do something else. Well, your ads will magically start appearing in front of those people. They did not click on your ad, they did not visit your site, but Google knows who is looking for what. So they may have gone to a competitor's website, we don't know. We don't know who they are. Google knows who they are. So that's called in-market audience. People who are in market actively today looking for services you provide, and the cost per click is less than 50 cents. So you're actually reaching out to people who are looking for services you provide for less than 50 cents. Very powerful. And 90% of your competition is not doing it. I can guarantee that. You can also do placement ads, which means you actually define where you want to show your ads. Here's a screenshot from a client in Columbia, Missouri. Their local channels are KRCG TV, ABC17news.com. So we run a campaign only on those websites for less than 50 cents a click. And all these impressions you see here, 1,332 impressions, 1,900 impressions, everything is free. All these impressions are free on ABC News, on their local news channels. Try calling ABC News and saying, we want to run campaigns on your website, but we will not pay you anything. Not going to happen. With Google, yes, you can do that. Here's a super advanced strategy. How many of you collect email addresses of your customers? Pretty much everybody. So you can upload those email addresses, that email list, in your AdWords account, and you can run ads specifically for those customers. So if you have 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 email addresses, you can upload that in your AdWords account and only market to them if you want. You're bringing those people back. It's 6 times easier to sell to the same person again. 6 times. They already have a report from you. I'm sure if you did a good job with your services, they like you. It's easier to sell to them. So again, this is for services that People call you again and again for carpet, rug, upholstery, HVAC, air duct, and so forth. So you can market to them. Again, what happens? When you upload a list, Google will create another list and say similar to email. This is similar audience, 100 to 300,000. So you only have 12,000 emails. Google will give you another 300,000. Take it from me. Go market to them too. Super powerful. I haven't seen a single restoration company do this when I analyze their AdWords account. Not a single, not even nationals. And I have audited, analyzed hundreds of AdWords accounts, hundreds, if not thousands, maybe thousands. Nobody's doing it. It works wonders. So a client of mine actually bought an email list from a competitor who was going out of business. We uploaded that. His competitor, about same size list, Google gave us another 300,000 like the audience of his competitor. So he said, I don't want to buy your business. You're going out of business. Just sell me your email list. I don't know what he paid, maybe 500 bucks. So we uploaded it to Google. We call it secondary customer. We don't want to write competitors. Customer list, and then Google comes out about a week later and gives us this list, which is similar to competitors' customers. So you can buy an email list and upload it to Google and market to them for 50 cents a click or less. 3 advanced Facebook marketing strategies are similar. Retargeting. You can upload email addresses there also. So if you have a list of emails, you can upload it to Facebook. And you can upload list of your customers' phone numbers and you can market to them. Again, this is like laser targeted. If your business is 10, 15, 20 years old, if you have about 5,000 phone numbers, you can market to those people. And then Facebook does the same thing. It'll create a similar audience, just like Google. Facebook was the first one to do this. Google does it now. So you upload 5,000 phone numbers, they'll give you another 50,000. Same people or similar audience. All right, so that was step 3. Step 1, conversions. 2, relevant traffic. 3, remarketing. Getting back in front of people who you've already spent money with. And step 4 is track and continue to increase conversions on daily basis. If you're tracking conversions, if you know conversions are important, you may want to track them, and if you track them, you improve on them. So if you're not tracking conversions, you're like this guy. You have no idea which way to go. And I'll show you why. This is a heat map from a website. Gives you an idea how people come to a site and what do they do. So the darker colors is where they focus on. And this is, in most cases, this is exactly what happens. People will come on your site, they'll see your logo, and then they'll follow this pattern. So that's why we have home page, your first important service, water damage, flood, basement, mold, and slowly it starts to recede. So when you track conversions, here's what happens. This is from a client. They got 97 calls in 30 days in August. But we are able to see where the calls are coming from. Google paid, Yahoo organic, Google SEO, Google paid, Bing SEO, Google paid, Yahoo organic. So at the end of the month, if they spend 1,000 on PPC, 1,000 on SEO, 1,000 on Bing, we know exactly what's making them money. Where they're getting more calls from. Where should the money go? Where should you put your marketing dollars? Is it Google PPC? Is it SEO? Is it Yahoo, Bing, and so forth? And same thing, when that happens, you can also track conversions in AdWords account. So now we are tracking conversions in AdWords. Water restoration, cost per lead, $161. Restoration companies, cost per lead, $267. Water restoration Baltimore, $195, and so forth. Basement flood, $86. Because we're tracking conversions. And so here's a key phrase that got 31 clicks, water damage. if you're not tracking conversions, it looks like, whoa, 31 clicks? That's the highest amount of clicks. This must be the real deal. The cost per conversion, $884. This is the worst key phrase to have. So it got the highest amount of clicks, looks really, really good. But if you're not tracking conversions, while you think this is the best key phrase, it's the worst. Important to track conversions in your website. And of course, tracking click fraud. I still have to come across a company that when I audit their marketing, they tell me they track click fraud. Anybody here doing click fraud monitoring? Okay. So you need to monitor who's clicking your ads. Is it competition, which is very common in our industry? Or are they real customers or prospects? So we track, there's a way to track the IP addresses of people clicking your ads. And when you see an IP address, click your ad multiple times, Google will allow you to block them. Google has a tool where you can block IP addresses. They don't give you IP addresses. They can. Google knows who's clicking your ad. They can give those IP addresses, but they don't. So here's an example from a client screenshot. Someone clicked on their ad at 7:40, 7:41, 7:43, 45, 46, 47. In 7 minutes, they clicked his ad 7 times. Of course, they did not get charged 7 times. Google will not charge you 7 times, but they got charged once. And if he comes back 2 weeks later, Google will charge again. So what do? You block this IP. And so this guy will never see your ad again. Now he thinks you're gone, you don't run your campaigns anymore, haha, I got you out of business, or look what I did, you are not doing PPC anymore. The fact is he's not seeing your ad anymore because you just blocked him. So, any questions?
Still have like 10 minutes.
I have one.
Yes, sir.
So if we choose your company to do all of our services, you do all this right for us.
Yes.
So we just hand it over to you. We get a report at the end of the month.
Right.
What is your typical, or I guess do you do study of our area to see, our competition?
Yes.
How many people we have, things like that.
And that's what the discovery call is. Talk to you for about 30 minutes. Sometimes it goes up to an hour if it's a bigger company, depending on what all they have going on. Who's your competition? What area? What services?
We serve multiple cities. We're from Houston, Texas area.
Okay.
There's a lot of servers and how you were talking. So we have Conroe, Willis, Montgomery, Magnolia, things like that. So with our location being, say, Conroe, will we be recognized on page number 1 top?
Yes.
And Magnolia, Montgomery.
Sure. You give me the list of cities. It can be a list of cities. It can be a list of zip codes. It can be a radius. So you can say 20-mile radius. And we can set your campaigns accordingly in AdWords. So it's based on location, which means based on zip codes, names of cities, names of counties, and the radius. So those are the 4 different ways we can target. And we can have separate campaigns. If you say, with this city we want to focus on water damage, that is doable. In the other city you want to focus with some of the other services, that's doable. Yes, yes, sir.
Sonny, I've been in business for almost 30 years in my area in Southern California.
Okay.
My company name is Experts Carpet Care. I've had a website probably for 20 years, and very well established with my client list. I've had other companies use my name. They pretend to have a business in my city. They don't. They call it Experts Carpet and Upholstery Cleaning. So they're taking advantage of my reputation and name there. And every once in a while I have a client say, hey, I called you up and someone else showed up. I didn't recognize him and I sent him away. It makes me nervous. Do I worry about playing defense in this online marketing? Do I try to eliminate these people, or do I just look ahead like I always have and play harder offense?
Sure.
Frustrating. they don't exist in my city, but they do online. They look like big companies and everything else. What do you do about that?
Well, are they running PPC ads or is it through SEO? Do they have, there must be a way they are showing up in your area. Do you know how they do that?
I'm not sure. You know, I'm not, I've been in business a long time, and there's nothing that's been more frustrating for me than online marketing.
If, now I can obviously talk to you later on also about this, but if you have, is your brand registered or do you have a trademark? You can always call Google and you can have them shut down. You can have, you know, they can't run ads if they're using your company's name or something close to it.
Yeah, well, it's close to, but it's not the same, and it's pretty generic. Expert carpet care is
Yeah.
it's a descriptor, you know, and I don't know that if somebody's expert carpet cleaning, you know, I'm not sure what recourse I might have. I don't have time to hassle with it.
So they must be doing, they must be providing services in your area, right? That's why they're running ads in your area.
Yeah.
And they have websites, landing pages. Did you check them? Are they similar colors? Are they using similar logos? They've got to be doing something that is close to what you do, right?
Yep.
Send them a letter from your attorney. Most people will just back up on that.
Yeah, okay.
Nobody wants to, you know, I tell them I'll send a copy of this to Google too. They may shut down your AdWords campaigns forever. And Google is like that. If once they shut down AdWords campaigns for somebody, you can have it reinstated again. They don't care. I mean, they have too much revenue coming in. They're not going to go back and forth with a small company. 5,000, 10,000 a month doesn't mean anything to them. So if you send them a letter from an attorney, most people are afraid of that. And then you tell them, I'll send a copy of this to Google. They'll shut you down. That would take care of it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Yes, sir.
Do you service clients in multiple cities? So, like, obviously, you already have a client in Atlanta. I'm from the Atlanta area too. Do you service two clients, and how do you keep it from being competition with your other client?
Right, that's a great question. So there's one city I'm not taking any more clients, which is Baltimore and Washington. But Atlanta is a huge market.
Yes.
I have a client there, yes. What services you provide?
Mostly water damage.
And what areas do you cover?
North Metro Atlanta.
Okay, so they're based in Alpharetta area, which is where we're based in our offices. And so they're doing campaigns in Johns Creek, Alpharetta, further down Augusta, and so forth. They're trying to stay away from that part because it's too much traffic. So they go, I would say, east.
Yeah, I'm more like.
You're like in
west.
Marietta and so forth?
I'm like Marietta, Kennesaw, Woodstock, Cumming.
And then it depends on your budgets, your key phrases, their budgets, their key phrases. Atlanta is a huge market. Helping two companies grow at the same time in that $1 trillion market is easy. Yeah, but if you're in a smaller city, I usually keep just one client because I want to compete with myself.
I would prefer to focus more on the outlying areas rather than being in downtown anyways.
Sure. Yeah, we can help you with
One more question,
Yes, sir.
sorry. I have a website, and it was just redesigned, and I'm not happy with it. I've had 2 websites so far since we've been in business, and feels like both of them I personally have to design them with a guy just kind of doing the clicks. Invested probably, I don't know, $4 grand in it total. With both of them combined. So with your company, obviously you're knowledgeable in this area, this field. I say make the website, you make the website, or how does that work? Because I really don't want to go through the whole process.
Excuse me.
I mean, it took my last guy took about 3 months to completely, and it's still not right. So
You know, website design, I'm losing my voice. Website design is painful.
yeah,
And so what we do is we have in-house designers and writers. So we design, develop, and write the content for the site because we're tracking conversions.
yeah,
We know which landing pages, we know which landing pages work, what kind of verbiage works, Because we're tracking conversions, like I just showed you. So I'm tracking conversions for lots of clients. The sites that convert well are the ones we duplicate for future clients because we know what works. So we do the whole thing. 30 days is what we ask for from start to finish, unless of course you have a lot of design changes. But we recommend, our designer will talk to you and then he recommend elements in a website that help increase conversion rates. So your site is conversion friendly. It has that one touch call button. It's responsive. So we do the whole thing. And of course, our writers will write for it. They'll interview you, they'll talk to you. It's Kim or Stephanie, we have 2 professional writers in our office. And one of them or both of them will write for you. We won't let you write anything.
And how often do you update it if you notice a page not landing correctly, or if you notice not converting clients?
Well, we work on it. So for example, negative keywords, right? We have 2,000 some number, close to 2,500 now. So if we see a negative keyword in Chicago, then we will add it to all our clients all over the country. Same thing with conversions. If we see something working really, really well, we analyze that page, and then we'll go ahead and make those changes for all our clients. When we work on your marketing, we have no contracts, so we never sign any contracts. It's more like month to month, paid based upon performance. If you're happy with our services, our performance, you pay us, otherwise you don't. So in order to keep you as a client and keep working with you, we have to make sure we're doing everything, increasing conversions, adding negative keywords, and so forth. So anything that I see, let's say, is working well in Washington, D.C., we'll implement that in Atlanta too. And a lot of times we don't even tell our clients we're making changes to your site because they're busy doing their own thing.
Yeah, that's, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to know. I like to see a report at the end of the month
Yep.
to say, hey, this is your numbers, and this,
Yep.
that's what.
Yeah, and so usually I personally talk with them. Me, Pawan, we have a couple of other people, we do a conference call, we talk to them, we explain them everything, and we're done. They don't get into the daily stuff, and they don't want to know it. Some of our clients don't even know what the passwords to their AdWords accounts are. They don't want to know it. I don't care.
If we have an existing website, is there a way that you can take the existing website that we have and use that as part of pay-per-click advertising, or do you have to do your own?
No, we can take your site and absolutely use it. We may have to do some design changes.
Okay.
We may have to change the verbiage. We may have to add some content. We may have to add some headlines. Depends on what your site may be missing to make sure it's conversion friendly.
Right.
If we don't do step 1, we will not be successful with step 2, which is traffic. So, yes, we work with several companies. We don't do anything with their site or minor changes, and there's no charge for that.
Is there a monthly fee that goes on with this, or?
If there's a monthly fee, yes, depending on budgets, areas, company size. Like I said, we have clients spending $40,000 a month on AdWords.
Does this sound like the AdWords button, or it's just,
This was more like what you need to have on your website and how you can use AdWords to get instant results or fast results. I speak with on SEO. I need 2 hours on that. Social media marketing we do. I speak on that. That's 2 hours. So if I want to speak on everything, it's like a 2-day class. So I thought AdWords will probably add most value here. But before you get into AdWords or SEO or social media or anything, conversions is what is the most important thing about a site. If a site doesn't convert, you can spend all the time and money driving traffic to it. So, the idea was to have a high conversion site and then get instant quick results. So sign up for the free discovery call if interested and your website analysis. We'll send you a complete report. And thank you for being here.